Hello and welcome to Business 24 on iBrandTV. As usual, we're talking business dynamics. On this episode, we're looking at advertising as a business and the significance of it to other businesses. I am Michael Nath, your host on the show. To start with, let's take this business tip, and right afterwards, we go on a break. Stopping advertising to save money is like stopping your clock to save time. You're watching Business 24 here on iBrandTV, and we're talking about advertising, the business of marketing communications. A popular quote states that doing business without advertising is like a man winking at a beautiful woman in the dark. Well, advertising is marketing communication employing an openly sponsored, non-personal message to promote or sell a product, service, or idea. It is an organized attempt to influence the buying behavior of customers or clients with a persuasive selling message about products and or services. In business, the goal of advertising is to attract new customers by defining the target market and reaching out to them with an effective ad, that's advertising campaign. Now, sponsors of advertising, technically called advertisers, are typically businesses wishing to promote their products or services. From the conventional, such as billboards, to paid announcements and adverts in newspapers and magazines, and also radio and television commercials, through to the digital age on the social media and mobile devices, among others. Advertising is solely aimed at strong brand awareness, remarkable market visibility, and top of the mind recall are long leading to market share expansion. I have here with me a brand strategist and marketing communications professional in the person of Dudu Smart. Dudu Smart, you're welcome to Business 24 on iBrandTV.
Thank you for having me.
You're really dark in complexion, a typical African complexion, I must say.
I get that compliment every time.
Are you from Ghana?
No, I'm from Nigeria, to be precise.
Well, I wouldn't want to go into details. Maybe we'll talk about that after the program. Once again, you're welcome to Business 24.
Thank you for having me.
In your own way, how would you define advertising?
Advertising to different people means different things. But to me, in the simplest of form and definition would be to stimulate the minds of the people to purchase a product or use a service. Very simple.
As simple as that?
Yes. There's so many definitions you can have out there. But communication itself should be very authentic. Should be in its simplest form, so that we can create engagement that would resonate in the minds of the prospective client and the client at large. I
see. Who engages in advertising? By that I mean, is it a business for all and sundry? That is, for all comers, anybody can, venture into it and make a success of it?
Yes, it depends. So if I understand your question properly, anyone can use the service of an advertiser.
No, I mean an advertiser. What does it take to be an advertiser?
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I think it has to be driven by passion. However, it can also be acquired. So, passion for writing could be a part of it because we write to sell, right? Then it could also be acquired. Maybe you just enjoy marketing. You are carried away by the science of sales. And you're intrigued with what you've seen about how commercials transcends into sales, provoking the consciousness of the people to either use a product, to try a product and use a service. So, so I think it has to do with the person, with an individual. So for me, basically, it was passion, and because I remember vividly that long before I even got into advertising proper, I've always loved to engage people. I've always asked questions, why this product in the market? Who do this product talk to directly? You know, so it was from that thought pattern that led me into advertising proper.
Oh, good. How important? I know there are so many factors that can influence the success or determine the success of a business. Now, since advertising is very important to a business venture, to what extent, what's the degree of importance of advertising to a business venture?
You can't comprehend the importance. And the reason is because you can go far alone, but to go further, you need people. As such, you need communications. So you see, if you are looking at increasing your bottom line, increasing your value, you need to communicate, you need to advertise. Because first of all, I mean, as a client or as a client who isn't engaging the service of an advertising agency, there's little to what you can do. But if you seek to drive mileage and sustain momentum, you need an advertising agency to do that. Because you know, they can help you properly define your market, your target group and audience. Then they can create content that will resonate in their minds, that will provoke sales, because advertising is about stimulating sales. So there's no point communicating if it's not going to provoke the consciousness of an individual to either use the product, like I rightly said, or increase your mind share, basically.
Now, when you talk about advertising now, for instance, you come across would-be clients or would-be customer who is not in the least interested in your product, service, or idea. From what angle are you going to approach it to make sure that he or she buys into your idea?
Okay, great. So we might have to consider, depending, we might consider behavioral change communication. Meaning that this, Mr. Nat, for example, is a prospective target audience.
Okay.
We have defined you as an audience, but you're not using our product yet. So we must begin to think of ideas, to think through you, using psychographic analysis to understand your person and why we want you to purchase this product. So we need to come up with content. We also need to make sure we cleverly target you to the point of you noticing this communication to want to try the service. So the bottom line is behavioral change communication. Because the truth is, for every product that is out there, there's a competing brand already.
Definitely.
So how then do we get you to switch brands and retain you as a loyalist?
Okay. Very, very crucial.
Yeah, so we need to go above and beyond in our communication. So first of all, let's say, for example, in Lagos now, the mentality, so we must first understand the behavior, the attitude of these individuals. So the attitude and the behavior of an individual that stays in Lekki, for example, differs from the person in Surulere and that of Ikeja. Their lifestyle is entirely different, but it's still in the same market, in the same state. So we need to communicate to them differently using one message. And we must pass that message as possible, as simple as possible, but very persuasive to the point it compels you to want to try the product.
Good one there.
Thank you.
Now, what are the qualities a good and effective advertiser should possess?
Well, first you must have an uncanny drive for success. Success in this case must be to first succeed in making sure your client's product do well in the marketplace. It must trump in the marketplace. Because at the end of the day, being skilled maybe as a copywriter or maybe a great strategist Good is not enough. Whatever content it is you are coining must be able to, coining and creating, must be able to do numbers. Because for the client, the most important thing is numbers. And if you're not getting results, the client is unhappy. It's like, let me use this analogy, for example, digressing a little bit. It's like a football team. The owner of the football team is uninterested in the effectiveness of the players. He's only interested in winning almost every match. And if he's not doing that, he's going to terminate the services of the coach. So it must be result, meaning that whatever it is, whatever strategy it is you're coming out with, must be result-oriented. It must be effective. And you must understand the market in which you operate and understand and identify the cultural intelligence of this market, of these individuals, and of this target group. Only by doing so can you conveniently win in the marketplace. And winning here simply means they're picking up the product or using the service.
Is there any product you would condemn, like even with the greatest skill in advertising, there is no hope for this program? I mean, this product, maybe considering the quality, the packaging, and stuff like that, you dismiss it as a product there is no hope for. Maybe advise the maker of the product to go start afresh and do something quite different from what.
Oh yes, so first of all, I mean, as advertising practitioners, we see the good in everything. However, we quickly identify how well the product can do. And if we think, because beyond just communicating, sometimes we serve as an advisory to this client. Because if we need to break through the clutter, right, you must also have a product that is unique, that has a unique selling proposition. However, sometimes we might advise that, we might advise R&D, which is research and development, into this product, so that when we are going to eventually communicate, we won't communicate what is entirely different from what the product is offering. So we don't sort of like condemn, we only tell you, go back, do a research on this product, right? Then maybe we need to tweak the product a little bit to suit this market. So condemnation is not a part of a job. We're trained to see the good in everything. Then we can advise you, okay, so if this product is not doing well, maybe we should go back and do a research on it. Research could be, why are people not using the product? Research could be maybe based on that research we've gotten from the target audience. We can now, research has to do with what has happened. And cultural intelligence has to do with what will happen, so that you can stay on top of trend and effectively manage it. So now, managing the data from the research and cultural intelligence now can help us go back to the drawing board, telling the client, you know what, why don't you go back now and recreate this product or recreate another product line to meet this target audience.
Does an advertiser need any or have any role to play in the manufacture or production of a particular product? I mean, based on what you've just said.
Yes and no.
Like somebody starting, trying to venture into production or manufacture of a particular product, does the person need the services of an advertiser right from that starting stage?
Yes, it's yes and no, because at the end of the day, you can consult us at the initial stage, and you can consult our services when the product is ready, right? But understand that as advertisers, we see the trends and we try to stay ahead of it. So we can advise categorically and tell you, you know what, create this product for this market. There's an available market for it. And you as a client might already know that. So you just need to bring the finished product to us and let us and tell us, oh, we want you to sell this to the world. Then we'll do that for you.
Wow.
So I mean, it's both ways. We can be with you at the initial stage, and we can also be with you. We can meet you in the middle.
Okay. A couple of minutes ago, I was asking you, what it actually takes to be an effective advertiser. Now, does gender in any way contribute? Can gender be considered as a factor in determining who does better now in advertising? I'm saying this because some banks, I wouldn't know if it's still in vogue now, but I know there was a time when this was very much in vogue. You see young ladies, going to those who have the money to spend, big companies and brands, to talk them into investing in their banks, depositing money or collecting loans or whatever it is, that they're trying to win their interests in becoming their customers. And at the end of the day, they are paid huge sums of money, and given incentives, to reward them for whatever services. Most 80% or thereabouts, we're like women, not men. So does gender in any way contribute as a factor in determining who does better in advertising?
Oh, not at all. Gender is not a yardstick in advertising. It has to do with your high level of creativity, basically. And you can't quantify creativity at any level. Anyone is expected to put in the very best. We're not in a competition with one another. We rather complement one another. John, so the role of a copywriter is different from that of a strategist. So a male or a female could fit in directly in any of the roles. However, they work together as a team.
Towards achieving the same goal?
Yes, because at the end of the day, the client only wants results. And collective effort, collaborative effort trumps competition at any point in time.
Sure, that's really true.
Do you understand? So
thank you very much, Dudu. You're not leaving. We still have. We still need your ideas, your thoughts on some more important questions we'll need to ask here on the show before the end of it. So we'll come back to you shortly. Right now, we're going to take a breather and come back right away with more on Business 24 here on iBrandTV. Do not go away. You're still watching Business 24 here on iBrandTV, and I'm still here with Dudu Smart, a brand strategist. Dudu Smart, back to you once again. Now, if a product sells and with or without adverts, would you still advise or encourage one to advertise? Is there still any need for advertisement? There are products, they say good market sells itself, the way it's put in our local parlance. Now, if a particular product sells, even before you begin to advertise, because what really determines this is, at times you don't even need to go about advertising those things, because once one uses it or tastes it and feels good about it, the person goes around doing the advertisement for you. It's a kind of a
Nurture reaction.
referral, you know. And with that, I don't think you need the services of an advertiser. What do you have to say about this?
I think I already answered this question earlier on, but I'll go through it again. So,
please.
if it's good, it can be better. If it's better, it can be best. So this is it, right? So I'm going to pick it from what you just said. So if a product is good and it's doing the numbers already, to the point where it has created a mouth chain reaction. Do you understand? And people are already proclaiming the gospel of this product by themselves.
Yeah.
There is a limit to how far it can go. That's why I said you can go far as an individual, but to go further, you need people, you need brains. And we are the best brains to drive mileage and sustain that product in the marketplace for the longest of time. I'm aware that there are products that in your early teenage years, as a child and in your early teenage years, and even up until now, have been existing and you still use them. It's simply because they understand that they need to keep connecting with you at a certain stage, development stage of your life. And communication is a viable tool. It's a viable tool, rather. You know, so that the product is doing well doesn't mean it can do better.
Sure.
And communication would exceed your expectations to even convert prospect at large. That's why I said, for every product out there, there is a competing brand.
Sure.
And competition in itself is followed by constant creativity. How do we go above and beyond to make sure you're number one in the marketplace?
Thank you so much, Dudu Smart.
You're welcome.
And I hope you'll come when next, because we have so much to talk about, but we can't exhaust everything we have here because of want of time. So we hope to call you back here again to tell us more about advertising and branding. Thank you so much.
Anytime, even beyond branding and advertising.
We still have so much to talk about.
Yeah, because the experience is beyond just advertising.
Thank you very much. And for you, viewer, we thank you very much for being part of it. I know now you know better. So when you go out there selling, remember, there is something you really need to make it even bigger. If you're already bigger, like he said,
you can be number one. Yes, you can be number one in your marketplace.
So on that note, we wrap up the show today. It's been my pleasure playing hosts, Michael Nath.
iBrandTV. Business first.